Are you ready to learn to manage your time better? If so, stay tuned because today I am sharing that's right, 6 tips to help you manage your time better. Hey, my friend, welcome back. Today we are talking about time management. If you are new here, hi, I'm Danie. I'm a relationship hypnotherapist that helps you build better relationships. Tip number 1, plan your week. I don't know how many times I hear people start their week and start going, and I'm like, what is it that you have going on this week? What are you doing? And they're like, one of the things that I found on my journey is planning your week does a couple things for you. It actually lets your mind know, like, hey, this is what we have going on for the week. This is the week ahead. It also gives you the opportunity to put what you want to do first as a priority. Oftentimes we get started and the day just goes and goes and goes, and then all of a sudden it's the end of the day and we're like, what happened? When we can plan our week, and I don't mean for those of you out there that are like, I can't plan my week because things happen. I'm with you, trust me. But here's the thing, when you can plan your week out, when you can kind of set some ideas of what is a priority for you for the week, you are more likely to get it done than not. Whether it's Sunday night, Monday morning, whatever it is for you, find the day and the time that is going to work best for you to just spend even 30 minutes planning out your week. All right, tip number 2, block your time. All right, so here we go. This is one that I get a lot of like a pushback from, like, Danie, I can't block all of my time. It's too structured for me. I'm a creative. I'm a creative too, lady. I understand that. I structure somewhat of what I'm going to do, and I like to have an idea, but I don't always follow it. But what it is that you do when you block your time, there's 2 things here. Number 1, when you block your time, you're giving yourself a set amount of time to work on something. Now, the good thing about that is that you will take that time to work on it. Number 2, if something comes up, that's okay. If you started something comes up, an emergency of some sort, and you have to step away, no problem. Just go ahead and come back to it or move on to the next thing. At least you've started or you've done something towards reaching that goal of either finishing something or starting something, whatever that might be. But when you are blocking your time out, it gives you an opportunity for, again, for your mind to know that this is when I'm going to do something. Let me give you an example. On Mondays, what I do is I write down all the things that I want to do for the week. And some things are more of a priority than others, right? I might have to do something for a client before I meet with them, so it might go based on that. But if there's something that doesn't have a lot of urgency, but it's something that I do want to get done during the week and I don't want to forget about it, I block some time for it on a day when I know I can do it. And then my mind is at ease. I don't have to worry about remembering that thing that I have to do. It's scheduled for a day, for a time, and I know that I can go on that day and work on it. I don't have to think about it. It's already scheduled. The other thing that's great about blocking your time is that you have the ability to say how long things are going to take. When we have the ability to say how long things are going to take, it allows us to kind of know how much we can actually get done in a day. I don't know how many times I've worked with clients where they say, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, all in one day, and it's like 10 different things. But something that is going to take more time, we don't realize. As a matter of fact, I was working with a client just yesterday, and she said, oh, I'm going to study these programs that she's going to be offering coming in the next month. And so she's looking at everything that she's going to do. And there's like 13 different companies or programs that she's going to have to review. And in that, it's not just reviewing the information for the companies. There's also some other things that she needs to do, like printing certain papers out, creating some resources for them, putting them into a folder and organizing them. So there's more than just studying, right? She's got a lot more to do for that particular project. And in the time that she has to do it, She was like, I'm just going to do it all, I'm going to do it, every day or all day or whatever and really get it done. But when we looked at how much time realistically it's going to take for her, it's going to take a lot longer than what she was anticipating. And she even found out that she's not going to have enough time. So we had to schedule things out and kind of figure out what was really important and what she could maybe bring together to do at a certain time and how to structure that time so that she could get it done in the short amount of time that she does have. So I would ask you to kind of look at what are the things that you need to block time out for. What are the important things? How much time is it going to take you? And realistically, are you going to be able to do it in the time that you've given yourself? The other thing I would say is sometimes we give ourselves too much time and we take that whole time. Your mind will take as much time as it is given. So if it's something that you can get done in 15 minutes, but you schedule an hour for, you're gonna take the full hour for. So just be mindful of how long it actually takes you to do something so that you don't, I don't know, maybe get on social media since you have extra time. Just a thought. Tip number 3. Create systems. Oh my goodness. Everything that I've been able to do in my business, the way I'm so productive and the way I'm able to get so many things done is to have systems in place. Like I literally have a system every morning before I sit down. Well, actually, when I sit down at my desk, I pull out my iPad and I schedule my day. It's the very first thing that I do in the morning to kind of prepare for my day. It's my system to make sure that I am being productive and working towards the goals that I have set for myself. That is my system. I have a system for how I bring clients on. I have a system for how I communicate with them. I have a system for my calendars. I have all these different systems that automatically make things flow for me. And a system can be as simple as just 3 steps that you might do. When you have something in place, it allows for your mind to just relax and know that this is the system. Oftentimes, one of the main things that I help women do is create systems in their life, whether it is for business, whether it is for home life, whether it is for their own self-care and mindset. Creating systems helps you stay focused, helps you manage your time better, and helps you get things done. So, what systems can you create within your life to make things easier? Some things I might suggest is, how are you creating your to-do list for grocery shopping? This is one that I help people with a lot, is grocery shopping. How do you do that? What is your system for that? Or meal planning. What is your system for meal planning? The other one might be for reviewing your finances with your spouse, or even just reviewing your own finances, right? It might be a system for doing your laundry or getting the house clean, right? A system that you might have for family, get-together time or gatherings of some sort. What are your systems? All right, so create systems. Tip number 4 is a meditation and or hypnosis. So I will raise my hand and say that I didn't always do meditation. I'm not somebody that will sit on a pillow for hours and hours on end, although I really would like to, but I don't spend that much time every day doing it. Hypnosis is something that I included in my life roughly about 3 or 4 years ago. And I've been doing meditation probably the past 6 years or so. Now, do I do it every day? Yes, and here's why. This is one of the most important things for time management. A lot of people think that this is something that is extra or something that doesn't relate, but let me tell you why it relates. When you are able to take even 5 minutes to do a meditation, to do a hypnosis, you actually clear your mind and you're able to focus. Now, my favorite thing to do is hypnosis because it's one of the things that I find relaxes me the most and clears my mind the most, especially when I have a lot of crazy thoughts going on in my head. Sometimes with the meditation and just kind of observing them doesn't really work the greatest for me, but it does help. I've done it. However, with the hypnosis, I'll turn on a 10-minute hypnosis, ground myself down, allow myself to relax into a very relaxed trance state. And then oftentimes I listen to one that is around something that I might be working on or feeling or need. So I actually do kind of like a meditation hypnosis in the morning when I first get up that has a lot of visualization and breathing involved in it. And then usually somewhere in the middle of the day, I need an energy boost. So instead of grabbing that cup of coffee, what I do is I'll turn on like a 10-minute hypnosis. I do have one that I'll link above that is on a power nap, or I'll do one for energy or motivation, something to help bump my energy up that'll raise my vibration. I'll listen to that and it's only 10 minutes. And then after that, I'm up and ready to go, re-energized and ready to continue on with a clear mind and focused energy. Tip number 5, set a timer. So as I kind of mentioned earlier with blocking, when you block out your time, you are going to take as long as time as you have given yourself. So if I give myself, 10 minutes to clean a room up or to clean the kitchen, let's use that as an example. I can set a timer for 10 minutes and go, right? And I will power through and get the kitchen cleaned up in 10 minutes or less. Now, if I am working on a project and I only have a certain amount of time, I set a timer. So even within my blocking of time, I always kind of set a timer, or I keep an eye. We set my timer for like 45 minutes. I'm a big fan of the Pomodoro technique. I will go 45 minutes actually, and then take like a 10-minute break, or do something for 10, 15 minutes, and then come back to my next kind of scheduled time block, so to speak. So for me, setting the timer just helps stop me from what I'm doing. So if I've told myself, okay, I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes to go onto Instagram and check out some stories, if I can go online and do that, and I give myself 10 minutes, I can easily spend, 30, 40, 60 minutes on Instagram, catching up with, what's going on in the world. But because I know I'm only giving myself 10 minutes, I'll set a timer for 10 minutes. So when that 10 minutes goes off, it's like, okay, that's it, I'm done. I can move on to what my next thing was. And I am one who is very, very adamant about taking breaks, relaxing the mind throughout the day and not just pushing through. Sometimes I understand as a creative or as somebody who is, gets really into what you're doing, you don't want to lose that energy. And I'm totally with you on that. Sometimes I will go beyond my time block and, work for a good 90 minutes because I'm in this flow and it's going great. But then after that's done, I take a break. I take a 10-minute break. I go do something different, or I'll go relax on the couch for a minute. I'll do some breathing, do my hypnosis, or I'll just take a walk or something. I leave my physical environment that I was in for that amount of time, go kind of hit the reset button, and then come back. I often find that I am re-energized and ready to tackle the next thing because I didn't just power through the next thing. All right, tip number 6, one tiny step at a time. One of the things with time management that I find is people want to change everything all at once. And it's like, hold on. If you try to change everything, it's going to be really, really dramatic in the way that you're changing it, right? It's really big and it's a big change. And oftentimes big changes can be really difficult to keep going for a while, for like ever. Most of us will start doing something for a couple of weeks and then we think that we've got a habit of it, and then we kind of relax a bit on it and then it just fades away. And we end up not keeping that habit. They say it's 21 days to change a habit. I disagree with that very much. I have found working with hundreds of clients that is not the case. It takes anywhere from 60 to 90 days to really get into the habit of doing something. And I always, always, always start with the smallest, tiniest step. The other thing I want to say about this is when you're looking at a bigger project that you have going on and you're trying to figure out how to complete it within the time that you're given, focus on the smallest step first. the tiniest little thing that you need to do or that you can do now that is going to move you in the direction towards what it is that you want to do in completing this task. The smallest, tiniest step is usually what's going to help you get started and moving, and will also help you kind of figure out how long it's going to take you to do something. Most people kind of just set a time to say, oh, it's going to take me an hour to do, but then find out it's like triple that amount of time, right? So looking at breaking it down into smaller steps and completing the smaller steps within a set amount of time, and then kind of moving on. I didn't want to leave you without this one final bonus tip, because this is actually the tip that I recommend hands down above all the other tips, and that is reflection. One of the things that has helped me learn how to change the habits, how to stay productive, how to manage my time better, is really reflecting on what I've done in the previous week. I'm talking about every week, I will sit down and I will ask myself 7 questions that I got from a business coach about 2 years ago, where she showed me these questions. Now, I had been reflecting prior to that, but never in such a structured and focused way. And these 7 questions really helped me think about what it is that I did during the week that was like, yes, keep doing that because that was really good. And this didn't really work out, right? And so what do I need to do to change it? It helps me think about how I made money for the week. It helps me think about what environments or systems did I create that really helped me in the past week. I can look at that week to week, month to month, year to year to see where my patterns are, where I can shift, right? Oftentimes we wait for like a quarterly plan or a monthly plan, but week by week I can shift ever so tiny to keep the consistency of things that are working and shift out of the things that are not. All right, so there you have it. My actually 7 tips for managing your time better. Now, I'd love to know what your tips are. What is the tip that you're going to take away, or that you were reminded of today, or even a tip that I didn't talk about today that helps you manage your time better? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing all of your ideas. All right, and as always, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you are ready to be a time management ninja. And as always, remember, close your eyes, take a deep breath,